Good evening, or I guess when I post this, it won't be evening anymore, but that's fine. Holy moly, how did I not notice this before? Whatever. This is real life. This is ridiculous. Okay, leave it. So, today we got results from Rowan's hearing test, so we had to go back in for his follow up appointment. We got tubes in about 6 weeks ago, his second set of tubes. So we went in today to go get a hearing test and to check his tubes. Tubes are working fine. They say they should last 2 to 3 years. We'll see. They told us that the other ones were supposed to last up to 18 months. And one popped out, let's see here, got them in May, and one popped out in November. So I'll hold my breath until 2 to 3 years happens. Anyway, it was an interesting result. So overall, he hears just fine, except for, so like, let's just say his baseline is like here, and his hearing is fine above, obviously above the baseline, but when it's too low, if like music or somebody speaking too low, his hearing baseline, I only have one hand, is like down here. So both of his ears can't hear this down here. And so so he hears like 90% okay. But if you speak too low, too quietly, if music is too low, he can't understand the words. He's not going to be able to hear you. It's like equivalent to somebody who is deaf in a way. They can't hear the low, but they could feel it, but they just can't hear it. So in that realm of deaf, I understand the 90% is not that he passed, but basically he can't hear low tones at all. So we've realized recently he calls it dad's big booms. So in Brandon's car, he got some subwoofers that like jolt the car. And Rowan's always like, turn it up, because I keep asking him, like, doesn't this hurt your ears? Because it hurts mine. He has no idea what that means at all. He can feel it, but his ears don't even register that it's happening. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely bonkers to me. So that explains a lot. And then I asked if like that could heal or whatever, and the doctor basically said it's like, I mean, he's got 90% hearing, so be happy with that, because of all of his ear infections that he's had through his childhood, I guess. I mean, only 6, so he's had ear infections since he was like about 18 months old on until even, let's see here, he got a second set of tubes 6 weeks ago, because a week before, 2 weeks before, 6 weeks ago, so 8 weeks ago, he had another ear infection, and that was just one ear infection, 4 since November. So he's had ear infections basically for 5.5 years of his life, or 5 years of his life. So the damage is done, basically. So it's probably not going to heal. We're just fine. I mean, he's got 90% hearing, just fine. But like those low tones, his hearing, his coat, like they had this weird headband thing where it's like kind of like these are bone connection headphones, but it's like they put it here like a cochlear implant would, and then they put the other side in front, like here, kind of like where this one would be, but like this one was back here, and then they switched. The cochlear hears just fine. He could hear everything. He didn't miss anything. But when they call them the marshmallows, so like regular earplugs or whatever, that like squish that you stick into your ear, they had that and like if you've never had a hearing test, they had that and like a wire attached to both sides. His ears couldn't register the low tones at all. So he missed the beeps, some like, a few of the beeps that he was supposed to hear, I guess, or he did it too early thinking he heard them, but he didn't hear them at all. And then some of the words he didn't hear some of the words either that they had asked him to repeat. And so, I mean, just all through the eardrums, but he could hear if it was bone connected. So it just shows that, like, the eardrum is the problem. For the hearing part of it, though, he does have eustachian tube dysfunction and may have it the rest of his life. They did explain to me, because I have that in this year, they did explain to me at his tube surgery that there's something called a eustachian tube dilation. So he and I might have to go do that, like, or I might have to go do that and then explain to him later in life that he might have to go do that. Because it just doesn't drain. It doesn't flex the way that it's supposed to. So it has nothing to do with allergies. It's nothing to do with... The allergies just don't help. They just back up everything that's in there because it won't drain. So, the seasonal allergies that he's got. So, anyway, I wanted to give you guys an update on him. Hopefully in the next 2 to 3 years we won't have as many ear infections or pain as we've had the last 6 years, which would be phenomenal. And I guess until then, there's not much to write home about, other than if you're speaking a low tone and he doesn't respond, I'm sorry, he just cannot hear you. So, speaking a higher octave, he might be able to hear you. I don't know. You know, that's our new life, but he's adapted well, so...